Vitaly Zhitorovetsky has been deported back to Russia. Has Vitaly been deported? According to an unnamed source, Vitaly Zhitorovetsky has allegedly been deported back to his home country of Russia after being arrested numerous times. Vitaly has had a long history of outlandish pranks and stunts, which have resulted in him having numerous run-ins with the police in Palm Beach County, Florida, California, and elsewhere in the United States and abroad, including at the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil. Vitaly has been arrested many times over the past 7 years. He has been arrested for his infamous Russian hitman pranks, as well as for climbing the Hollywood sign and streaking at the World Cup. He has been arrested for wrestling with Steve-O and for abusing a mannequin, but despite all this he had never been deported until now. Maybe he went too far this time. Gossip G-Man has an exclusive trending gossip story. You saw it here first. According to Gossip G-Man's exclusive unnamed anonymous source close to Vitaly himself, Vitaly hasn't been spotted in the United States for almost a month. After he traveled to Iceland for a European vacation, he had intended on returning to the United States, but when he tried to go back to America, he was refused entry and was notified that he was deported and that he would not be allowed back in the country because of his previous criminal charges and the recent changes in American immigration policy under controversial President Trump, who Vitaly has been critical of on several occasions. When Vitaly found out about this, he was reportedly very shocked and upset, and he told his new girlfriend that had accompanied him to Iceland about this, and she decided to leave him upon learning on his alleged deportation, as she was not prepared to live abroad, and moved to Russia with Vitaly, according to our exclusive anonymous source. This new girlfriend was only in the picture for about a week or two, and the pair had met at an EDM concert in California before booking up and dating. He invited her to Iceland, and she seems to have been a replacement for his former girlfriend, Instagram model Brie Teresi, who left Vitaly after the former couple was kicked out of the Boca Raton resort and club in December after the hotel had learned of Vitaly's background as a prankster. Anyway, now Vitaly was alone in Iceland, having just learned that he has allegedly been deported to a country he hadn't lived in for over a decade. The 29-year-old Zhitorovetsky could only do one thing. He allegedly went to stay with his grandma. Vitaly went back to Russia and stayed, and is still staying as of this time, with his grandparents at their house in the small village in Russia where he was from before he moved to the United States in the early 2000s. Vitaly briefly shared several Instagram stories that were clearly in Russia, including with him and his grandmother, and of Vitaly catching a coin with his mouth, and hanging out with his Russian friends and family, as well as at a local restaurant eating a lobster that was tagged as the Ritz-Carlton, but obviously was not, because Vitaly had to catch his own lobster at this small dark restaurant that served the lobster with celery and lettuce, which the Ritz-Carlton does not do. It appeared that Vitaly has been slowly adjusting to his rumored new life as a former American resident living in Russia. It now appears that Vitaly has been forced to move back to Russia after he has allegedly been deported due to his criminal record and that he never became a U.S. citizen. According to an unnamed source, he has been looking at places to live in Russia and is trying to start a YouTube career and a new life there, back in his homeland. As of this time, he still lives with his grandmother in Russia, and his mother seems to have remained in America and has not accompanied him to Russia. You may be wondering, how did Vitaly get here? How did he get deported? What will he do now in Russia? Is this the reason for his hiatus from YouTube? Is he going to return to YouTube? Will he ever be allowed back in America? Will his mother join him in Russia? Let's go back to the beginning of this story and see what led Vitaly to this. Join Gossip G-Man on a journey to the beginning of all this. Vitaly moved from Russia to Palm Beach County, Florida in the 2000s. And he was a waiter, a sign spinner on street corners, and briefly a porn star before he started his YouTube career in 2011 with his signature outlandish pranks. He started to achieve success and get millions of views for his videos, such as his signature Tanisha transgender prostitute character, or his character Freddy the Wolf, who would interview people with bananas and pieces of chicken instead of a microphone, or his prank where he posed as a parking meter maid, as well his bug exterminator prank, his Miami zombie prank, disturbing the peace prank, and Russian hitman pranks. But he would soon begin to develop a Criminal record. Vitaly did many of his Russian hitman pranks, where he go up to people and say 60 seconds and drop a suitcase that these unsuspecting people believed to be a bomb. He did this in Boca Raton. He was eventually arrested at a Boca Raton grocery store for a bomb threat, and spent several months in jail. His former partner, who also got arrested and was so distraught by his time in prison, being imprisoned alongside murderers and gang members, that he ended his own YouTube career and has never been heard from since. Vitaly, however, would be undeterred his time in jail and subsequent jail time, and continued his pranks and took them to new heights. After he developed a criminal record, Vitaly had to leave Florida and his mother decided to move to California, and she brought their son with her and she continued her hairdressing career in California. Once they moved to California, Vitaly continued to do his pranks, but his fans started complaining that they weren't as good as his original Florida pranks. He felt the need to upset the ante. Vitaly didn't get arrested for a few months. But he then started to get arrested on a more routine basis. Shockingly, Vitaly never became an American citizen, despite living in the USA for many years. Had he done this, he would have had likely been able to remain in the United States. He moved to California, he pranked his mother often and they fought on camera several times. His frequent arrests likely made things worse. After moving to California, Vitaly continued his quote-unquote life of crime, and he was arrested several more times for assaulting a mannequin, assaulting famous prankster Stevio, trespassing, and climbing the Hollywood sign, among other charges. Meanwhile, he continued with his pranks, despite the increased attention from law enforcement. Vitaly started to get into streaking, and he flew halfway across the world to streak at the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil, which resulted in him ending up in a Brazilian prison for 2 days. This probably his most well-known prank. And it sparked his streaking phase. This was also when Faust's alleged rape of prostitutes by Vitaly happened. We are not saying that happened, to be clear. Vitaly later streaked at the World Series, NBA Finals, and he tried to streak at the Super Bowl, but he was arrested upon entering the stadium. To be fair, he was wearing everything but a shirt, and still called it streaking, but he was not streaking naked. He was arrested each time, which added to a now lengthy criminal record. This clearly has not helped his case to stay in the country. Some of his fans may say he is in Russia for the FIFA World Cup, but he has not attended any of the games and he has not been anywhere near the stadiums. All the tickets are already sold out, and he previously said he had no intention of going to the World Cup or streaking again. There is no chance of this. So this has been ruled out, and this only means one thing. All signs point to Vitaly having been deported back to Russia. What's more is, according to our unnamed source, Vitaly has been spotted around his old village in Russia and has not been seen in America for almost a month. As of this time, he has not updated his Instagram recently and he hasn't uploaded a new video in over 2 weeks. This is surely an unexpected outcome and will come as a shock and disappointment to his fans, as this may effectively end his YouTube career outside of Russia. What do you think Vitaly will do now? Will he continue to do pranks? Will his mother move to Russia with him? Will he try to come back to America? Will he make a new life for himself in Russia? Comment below with what you think below, and make sure to subscribe and smash the thumbs up button. Subscribe for more exclusive Gossip G-Man videos soon. And follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Gossip G-Man. This has been a Gossip G-Man exclusive trending gossip report, Vitaly Zhitorovetsky edition. Make sure to check back for more videos coming soon.